Before we find ourselves in 2025, let's look at the year that was. It was a busy one in showbiz, with Hollywood couple Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz breaking up in October. A generation of young people declared that they no longer believed in love when Tommy and Molly-Mae called it a day in the summer, the same month that Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Ben Affleck. Apparently, Ben's best mate, Matt Damon, was his relationship rock, while J-Lo turned to her mum and her girlfriends for support. So, a whinge woman, apparently you call it. Who is your whinge woman, Liv?
Well, it ain't Matt Damon. I wish it was. I cry on someone's shoulder. But I've got a couple of really close friends, like, you know, lifers that I've been friends with for years and years. And one or two or three of them I'll go to. Depends how raging I am, depends how much advice I need. But sometimes it's more of a case of a sounding board, isn't it? Someone that knows you, knows the way you deal with things, knows your partner, that you can trust that that information's not going to go any further. Because I think, especially long-term partners, husbands, wives, I think it's tricky when you want to talk about very personal things. You don't want to disrespect your partner by kind of just going and shouting it from the rooftops and telling, you know, anyone you pass by about it. You want someone that you can trust that information, who will hopefully give you good advice in return.
But would you go to a friend, or would you go to, like, a professional person?
OK, do you think I need to go to professional?
I know we got off on the wrong foot.
No, listen, I'm a big champion for therapy, and I think if it's something that's available to you and you can access it, it's great. And I think I've had a lot of help from therapists over the years of working through different situations, because that is a very non-biased opinion. Do you know what I mean? And often they have tactics and ways that helping you look at things that other people won't have.
No, I suppose the only reason I said this, maybe not a professional person or somebody maybe doesn't know you so well, because when you go to friends...
They're biased.
Then, you know, and often they don't know what to say. I mean, Judy, people come to you a lot, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know why. But I do, I do get a lot of friends and family come to me. But I think what you're saying is so true in regards to, I'm quite mindful when I was in a relationship of who I go to. I've got specific friends for specific things. And I think when it's a long-term relationship, for me, I prefer to go to, like, that long-term friend who knows me, and then go to, like, my sister or my godmother. Because they're married, they've done it for so many years, I think they have a more holistic understanding and scope to work with, where actually they could probably pull me up if I'm the one in the wrong, instead of giving me that one-off whim advice of, like, oh, my God, get rid of him, you know, someone that doesn't help you to reflect on your relationship. So I give the same information or the same advice to any friends that are married. I'm not the person to seek advice from, because I really think when it's a couple that's married, they need to go to somebody else who's lived that... I haven't been married, so I wouldn't want to advise someone who's been in a marriage.
Oh, really?
No.
So you'd make that distinction,
yeah? Because I would be that mediator and say, I love you both, especially if it was a friend or family. I love you both, and I'm always here for you to confide in, but I would always guide them back to either maybe getting a therapist or actually speaking to another married couple, whether that's through your church or your, you know, whatever place that you go to. Because I think it's easy in that moment, as a friend, to think quite selfishly, like, oh, my gosh, you did this, you did that. And sometimes, if we look at some past relationships we've been through, or even some of your friends' relationships, they're not the person you need to be getting advice from, baby. You know what I mean?
I know.
So just be mindful when you're speaking into people's relationship. That's what I think is important.
Very clever.
What about you, Kel?
Well, mine are two great friends. Like, one's been on the show, Kerry's been best friend since day one at school. So I trust her, and she's really calming. She'll sit me down, she'll just say, what do you think, because she cares. I've got another friend, however, 25 years, says it is, tells me to get rid of them, hence why they're all exes. And it's funny, isn't it, because I've got a lot... I'm really lucky to have good friendships, but I do feel like you have to really trust that person to understand why you're speaking about them, rather than trying to put you off a relationship. It's easy for your best mates to say, well, get rid. But actually, you might be just going at a part of your life where you just need a bit more support, and it might be you the issue rather than them the issue.
Isn't the worst when they tell you get rid, and then you get rid, and then months later they're talking to the ex who's 10 times worse than yours, and you're like, well, hold on a minute, you just got me out here in the desert. You've gone back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know, but I think it's also interesting what you said, Liv, about whether you actually want advice or do you want someone who's just going to listen.
So true.
I think it's often that, isn't it?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.